Okay, now let us see the movement, how the snails are moving from one place to another place. Now it's a season of snail, I think. Almost all house inside our home also nowadays these snails are coming, because especially in the agricultural field, the number of snails are more. You can observe it here. Actually, these snails, they are laying eggs inside the bananas leaves. That sheath is there, no? Inside that only. So where people, those who have more number of banana plants, there you will observe more number of snails you can observe. And snails are of two types. Sometimes some snails are there, they will have only a muscular body. You can see they will have a long body structure and they will move. But in some snail you can find their body is covered by means of an exoskeleton. A shell is there and they will be present inside the shell, and a small head region will come outside from the front portion, and from the back portion you can find a strong muscular structure is there, and that muscular structure is helpful for them to move from one place to another place. And that muscular structure which comes out of the shell is known as muscular foot, we will say. What is that? Muscular foot. This muscular foot in snail helpful for them to move. And we are not able to, you can see they are moving when they are compared to the movement of all other organisms. The movement of snail is very sluggish. Sluggish means very slow. Okay, they are moving in a very slow manner. And this movement you are able to experience clearly. How you know? If you see from outside, it will not be able to see that much clearly. So what you need to do is, you need to take a snail, and I told you there are many types of snails are there, and the long one, only fleshy snails are there, and other shelled snails are also there. And the shell is not having any role with the locomotion. Okay, in some of the snail I told you they have a protective shell is there. That shell is not having any role in the movement, but it is helpful for them to protect themselves. And this shell they have to drag along with them. Okay, as they are moving, the shell is also moving along with their body. It is dragging from one place to another place. And that muscular region which helps the snail to move from one place to another place, that is called muscular foot. It is very strong. And on the front portion you will find with a small antenna like structure you can observe. There is a small head region is also there, and with the help of this muscular foot they are moving from one place to another place. If you want to observe it in a very clear manner, you can do one thing. You have to take a clean glass plate, glass sheet you have to take, and take a snail and place it over that glass sheet. Then lift it nearby your eyes size, that glass sheet you have to lift it upside, and from down you have to observe up. Okay, the glass plate we have placed above our head, then you have to look up. When you look, you can find the muscular movement of this muscular foot you can observe through the glass. And if you observe, you can see this muscular foot is moving in a wavy manner. Okay, just like in a wavy pattern, wave-like pattern, very slowly the muscular foot is moving from one place to another place, you can see. So in order to see more clearly, this method you can follow. Whenever you get enough time, whenever you happen to meet a particular snail, you place it on a transparent slide and observe it from below, so that you can see the movement of that muscular foot is just like in a wavy pattern, and they will move from one place to another place. And snails are known as the slow animal. They are very slow movers. They are very sluggish movement they are following. Okay, they are not like us. When we are doing any work also, we will say, no, this fellow is just like a snail. He is not coming along with us. So snails are moving in such a way, very slow manner, but in with the help of a muscular foot, just like a wavy pattern, wave-like motion, they are moving from one place to another place. Okay, now let us see about the movement of cockroach. Are you familiar with the cockroach? Night time, if you are not familiar and if you haven't seen them in a proper manner, you can do one thing. When everybody sleep and switch off the lights, then afterwards, around 11 to 12 o'clock, you slightly get up, come to your kitchen. You can observe there are so many, a large group of these cockroaches are moving here and there in with the family. They are moving. Okay, they are not moving alone. Wife, husband, children, grandfather, everybody will be there. Okay, they are coming in a group. You can observe it. Very minute nymphs, that means the younger one also will be along with them. During night time, they are having very big party in your kitchen. You can observe it. When you switch on the light, after within a second, they will all go and hide somewhere. Okay, they keeps moving in search of food and water. During night time, they are moving. You can observe it. And what is the shape or what is the structure of this cockroach? When you see externally, you can observe their body is made up of a protective covering. That means we are able to see skeleton in our body that is present inside, whereas in exoskeleton, whereas in cockroach, you can observe the skeleton is present outside. Their body is made up of plate-like structures. Okay, that is made up of a chitin, a substance called a chitin, and they are not that much hard like our bone, and they are protecting their internal body parts. Okay, and those chitinous plates protects them. Externally, they will have skeleton. At the same time, they are able to move from one place to another place by walking and by climbing and by flying. Okay, they will climb. So from the first you can observe they are moving inside the kitchen. After some time they may climb over the pillars and all, they will climb. Again they can fly if it necessary. Okay, generally we will not be able to see the cockroaches are flying, but sometimes they are walking. Most probably they are walking, and sometimes they will climb on the trees or inside the wall and all, they keep climbing. And if necessary, some situation they used to fly inside the home. Okay, they can fly also from one place to another place. In this way they are moving, and for their movement there is no much specialized system is not there in cockroach. They will have body muscles attached to their legs and wings. The muscles which are attached to their legs helpful for them to walk. As it is an insect, just like that of other insects, they have 6 legs, 3 pairs of legs. Okay, in all the insects you can observe 3 pairs of legs are there, and in cockroach also 3 pairs of legs are there. That means 6 legs are there in a cockroach, and there are certain muscles are arranged or attached to the leg muscles which make them move. Okay, at the same time they have 2 pairs of wings are there, which is fixed just near to the head region. Just behind the head region, 2 pairs of wings are arranged. When you see from outside, you will see only 1 pair. Not that, just below that 1 more pair is there. Total 4 wings are there for cockroach. Okay, and they are fixed behind the head region. Near to the head region it is fixed. The muscles which are attached to the wings helpful for them to fly. Okay, the muscles, body muscles which is attached to their legs are helpful for them to walk, climb, etc. Okay, so how many pairs of legs are there in cockroach? 3 pairs of legs are there. How many pairs of wings are there? 2 pairs of wings are there, or 4 wings are present in their body, and their body is having a protective covering that is called exoskeleton. Plate like a protective covering they have. Okay, and near the legs muscles are there, at the side near the wings also muscles are there, and these muscles help them moving from one place to another place. Now we are going to discuss about the movement occurs in birds. You all are familiar with the birds. Okay, most of your family members are rearing or terming lovebirds. In your home it will be there, or some parrots may be there, or myna. All these are some termed birds, so that you will be very clear their body structure and all. Okay, if not also we are observing crows, so sparrows, birds. There are so many birds in our surrounding, and these birds, how they are able to move from one place to another place. No doubt you will say with the help of their wings. Okay, birds are moving with the help of their wings, and their forelimbs are modified to form wings. We have our forelimbs, our hands. Okay, we have hind limbs, that is our legs. Birds also forelimbs and hind limbs are there, but in birds forelimbs are modified into wings. Okay, that help them to fly from one place to another place. And if you see the shape of them, you can observe front portion as well as back portion is pointed. They have streamlined body shape. Okay, front portion is also somewhat pointed and back portion also pointed, and middle portion is somewhat broad. Such a body shape is known as streamlined body shape. And moreover, they have bones which are hollow. Okay, because of the hollowness of the bones, they feel lightweight for their body, so that they will be easily flying from one place to another place. Okay, the shape of the body of the bird is streamlined, and they have two pairs of limbs, and in that forelimb is modified into wings, and wings are having strong muscles. So with the help of the strong muscle, they are stretching their wings, they can fly from one place to another place. Okay, and the shoulder bones of the birds are very strong because they need to fly a long distance. Some birds will fly kilometers. Okay, Arctic tern, you studied about a migratory bird, thousands of kilometers they will fly from one place to another place for breeding or for food purpose. They are flying kilometers distance, so their shoulder muscles are very stronger. And for what all purpose they are moving? They are moving for perching. Perching means for taking their food material, at the same time for holding on the branches of the tree. They are using their legs, or walking they are using. Okay, for walking they are using, for holding the trees of the branches of the trees they are using their legs, etc. They are using, just like what we are doing, they are also using their legs or using their body parts for moving. The main part which is helpful for them to move, that is their forelimbs, developed into wings, and where the shoulder muscle is so strong, they can fly kilometers of distance. And some of the birds you can observe in water, like ducks, penguin, etc. And swan is a swan, duck, etc. They are living in water, so they are using their forelimbs as well as hind limbs. They are used for swimming. Okay, some of the body parts in birds they are used for flying, and some parts they are used for walking, and some part of their body they are used for swimming in water. Example, aquatic birds, they use their wings as well as the hind limbs they used for swimming in water. So these are the different types of uses of different parts of a bird's body. Okay. Do you know what is this? It is the model of a fish which I made. Okay, so you also try to make such a model so that you can understand it in a better manner. Okay, in a chart paper you can just cut the shape of the body of the fish, and you have to draw the fins, eyes and all, so that it looks like a fish. Okay, you can observe here, in fish mainly they are moving. Fishes are found in water, you know that. Okay, they are aquatic. No fish can live on the land because the air which is available in the oxygen which is available in the air, they are not able to breathe. That's the main reason. If you take a fish out of water, after some time they will die because their respiratory system is not allowing to breathe the oxygen in gaseous form. That's the reason. Okay, you know that. And if you observe the shape of this fish, you can observe, just like I said earlier, in fish or in birds also, the front portion, especially the beak region, head region and all, comparatively they are smaller in size. At the same time, back portion, the tail region also smaller, whereas the middle body is somewhat broad. And such a body shape here in fish also, you can see the front portion is pointed and the back portion is also pointed. Because of this type of body shape, they can cut water easily and move from one place to another place in a fast manner. Okay, in order to cut water easily, fishes are helpful. Fishes are adapted with this body shape, and birds are also like that only. Whenever the birds are moving, flying in the air, in order to cut the air, the front portion is pointed. You can observe that in aeroplane. You can observe aeroplane. They have the front portion is pointed and back portion is also pointed, and the middle portion where the people are accommodated, that is somewhat broader, you can observe. And in order to balance, they have wing-like structures. Here fishes, they have fins. Okay, Birds, they have wings for balancing their body. Here fishes, they have fins are there. The fins are helpful for them to balance their body. And here you can find the dorsal fin. It is called dorsal fin and it is called the ventral fin. Dorsal and ventral fin and lateral fins are also there. On the side also you can find fins are there. And these four types of fins helpful for them to balance their body. The tail fin is helpful for them to control the direction. Okay, control the direction of the movement is done by tail fin only. Okay, you can see here in fish. Now let us see how the overall movement of the fish take place. And fish's body is covered by means of strong muscle. You know that we are experiencing that. Okay, by adding so much masala, we are experiencing the taste of fish. Okay, muscles taste we are experiencing every day. So the muscles of this fish are very stronger and they will bend their body. They will curve their body to a particular. Suppose if the fish want to move, first they will curve the body muscle towards a particular direction. At the same time, when the head region is bending towards one direction, the tail region will bend towards the opposite direction. Okay. Then immediately after bending, and they form a loop-like structures, after bending, suddenly they will move towards the opposite direction. Okay. First it will bend towards this direction. Then there is a loop is created. Here again they are forming another loop. Then after bending towards this side, suddenly they will bend towards the opposite direction. At the same time, the tail will move towards the other direction. So in that way, to one side, when the head region is moving towards one side, the tail region will move towards or curve towards the opposite side. When again the tail region come back to its original side, then the head region move towards the opposite side. In this way, they creates a loop. Okay, they moves in a loop like. They will, after the formation of a loop like structure on their body, suddenly when they stretch towards the opposite side, automatically a force is created. That jerk or that force developed is able to pull this fish from one place to another place. Okay, first they will form, the front portion form a loop, and the tail portion also form a loop which is opposite to each other. Again, when the tail portion move towards opposite side, the front portion will move towards the original direction. Like that, in a reverse direction, the fishes are always keeping a loop, and this sudden loop formation creates a jerking movement, and this jerking movement is helpful for the fish to cut through water or slip through water in an easy manner. That is one method, that is one procedure. At the same time, aquatic fishes which are found in water, their body surface is somewhat slippery. Okay, slippery. Because of that slipping nature, very fastly they are able to move in water. And another adaptation in fish, this pointed shape of the head, that is helpful for cutting the water easily so that it can move from one place to another place in a fast manner. While they are moving, in order to balance the body, these fins are also helpful for them. Dorsal fin, ventral fin, lateral fins and tail fin. Tail fin is mainly just like the driver, okay, controlling the direction of the movement by means of tail fin only. By bending, by twisting tail fin in different direction, the fish can move or turn towards any direction. So direction of the fish is mainly controlled by means of their tail fins only. Okay. Okay. Now let us see how the movement of snakes, how the snake is able to move through the soil. You might have seen that the snakes are moving in the movement of snake is called a slithering movement, we will say. Okay, a snake slither, we will say. Slither, S-L-I-T-H-E-R. Slither means movement like a wavy pattern. Okay, a twisting manner or an oscillatory type of motion like this. Movement like this. Like a earthworm we saw wriggling movement, but in snakes you can find such type of an oscillatory type of or wavy type of motion is there, that is known as slithering movement. Slithering, a snake slither. how a snake is able to slither. Actually, just now we discussed about fishes. Whenever they want, they will curve their body towards one direction. After some time, the opposite direction again they will create a loop, and due to the formation of such loops, they are able to move in water. So in snake also you can observe their body is long and they will have a long backbone. Okay, the snakes are having a very long backbone, and the bones and muscles are attached. Okay, the bones of the backbone is attached to the ribs. They also have ribs. Snakes are also having ribs. The bones are muscles are attached to the ribs and backbone. Even though they are attached far away places, the muscles are of very thin muscles are there in their body, and these muscles are helpful for the backbone. They are helpful for pulling the backbone and create a special loop like structure. For example, if you observe here, you can observe this is one loop, again another loop like this. This is the first loop. Here you can observe another loop. Here see another loop is there, again one more loop. Like this, in a wavy pattern, the snakes are able to create certain loops. And this, after creating a loop, the body of that particular loop region, they will press against the soil. Okay, the loop created by snake, it will press their body part of that particular loop region against the soil. Again, when they press against, automatically there will be a movement. They will get an extra force, and that will make the animals to move from one place to another place. It is only a particular area, a particular loop region. They will create a loop. They will curve their body towards one side and they form a loop. And these muscles in this loop region, actually on the lower side of the snake, you can observe special structures called scales are there. Actually, those scales are helpful for them to move. After creating the loop, with the help of this scale, they will press against the soil, and again they will pull in the opposite direction. Opposite direction, they will create a loop. Again, other direction. In this way, our snake's body is very long. They can create many loops. Okay, when they stretch the loops, when they bring back the loop's shape in original shape, by that time, every loop will press their body part against the soil. Then suddenly, when they will come towards the opposite side, there is a jerking effect is there, a pulling effect is there. And this pulling effect makes the snake's body part to move forward little. Okay, and this makes the whole body, this loop creation, the formation of the loops in the snake's body creates a jerking movement, because each loop is creating a little jerking movement. And that in that way they are having many loops are there. Okay, and each loop provide a force by pressing against the soil. They will get a particular jerking movement. As a whole, this snake is able to move from one place to another place. Okay, and because of this jerking movement they can move. And this loop, because of they are forming the loop only, you can observe whenever a snake moves, you can observe they will not move in a straight line. When a car moves, you can see it is moving in a straight line. In order to form the loop formation, and that loop formation provide a jerking effect that makes the snakes move, so that they are forming a loop. So whenever you observe a snake movement, you can see they will not move in a straight way. They always move in a zigzag manner. By creating loop, they are able to move from one place to another place. Just like us, snakes are also having endoskeleton is there. At the same time, they have very thin muscles are there, and the muscles are connected to the vertebral column of the snake. These muscles and these bones of the vertebral column, they are connected. So due to the loop formation, they are developing a force against the soil. With that force, they are able to move from one place to another place, because they are having so many loops. From each loop formation, they will be getting a little force they are getting. With that, they are able to move forward from one place to another place. The main part of the snake to move through the soil, that is their scale. And if you observe the under portion, the lower portion of the snake, you can observe there are small scale-like structures are there, scales. So scales are helpful for snakes to move. Fins are helpful for fish to move. Wings are helpful for birds to move. Legs are helpful for human beings to move. So all these organs which are helpful for locomotion are known as locomotory organ. Okay, locomotory organ. The part which is helpful for us to move from one place to another place, they are known as locomotory organ. In your textbook, chapter front page, that means 8.1 and 8.2, there are two tables. Okay, and that tables, after reading the lesson, you have to try to fill those tables and how animals are moving and which part they are moving, while movement which part is involved in that. Like that one chart is there, you have to read the lesson and find out its answer and you have to fill it. Okay, that is a homework for you. And just we can summarize all these points once again. Then afterwards we will discuss the difficult words. Then we will wind up the class. Okay. So what all things we have studied today? We have studied about the bones, different types of bones in our body. What are those bones? Hip bones, shoulder bones, rib cage, rib bones, skull bones, leg bones. Okay. The leg bone is the longest bone in our body. Okay. Which bone is the longest one in our body? Leg bone. That means thigh bone. Femur is known as the longest bone in our body. And there is a smallest bone also in our body, that is called stapes. It is located inside our ear. Inside our ear there is a small bone that is called stapes. That is the smallest bone in human body. And the longest bone in human body is thigh bone. It is also known as femur. Okay. How many bones are there in our body? There are about 305 body. Around 305 bones are there present in an infant. But as the child grows and become adult, the number is getting reduced and come to a fixed number, that is 206. 206. Okay, 206 bones will be there in an adult individual. The longest bone is thigh bone and the smallest bone is located inside our ear, that is called stapes. How many pairs of bones are there in our rib? 12 pairs. Okay, 12 pairs of bones are there in our ribs. How many bones are there in our skull? 22 smaller bones are making our skull. Okay, 22 bones. And that one bone is not able to, only one bone in our skull is able to move, that is lower jaw bone. Lower jaw bone. And the remaining bones all are fixed. Okay, they are having fixed joints, so they are not able to move it. Whereas the skull, the lower jawbone is able to move. And if you come to our vertebral column, it is made up of 33 smaller bones called vertebrae. Okay, that's all about the bones. Okay, children, we have discussed about the bones, and now let us summarize about the joints in our body. There are different types of joints. I have already taught you. One is ball and socket joint, which is found in our shoulder and hip region. Then hinge joint found in our elbow and our knee regions. Again, our wrist region, there is another joint that is called a gliding joint. It is not given in your textbook. It is called a gliding joint. Okay, wrist and ankle you can find a gliding joint. In the head region you will observe what joint? That is fixed joint. Again, pivotal joint is located in our neck region. That's all. Okay, that's about the joints. And regarding muscle, overall our body is made up of muscle. Large number of muscles are there. Again, you can observe, particularly you can observe almost all the bodybuilders and all, they are developing their biceps muscle. Okay, when you lift our arm upward, you can observe here there is a muscle, and that muscle is known as biceps muscle. At the same time, when we bend our arm, you can observe automatically the biceps muscles will be enlarged. That means it undergoes contraction. It becomes stronger, thicker and stiffer. At the same time, opposite side you can observe there is a muscle that is in a relaxed mode only. Okay, relaxed position. When we stretch our arm forward, you can observe these triceps muscles will undergo contraction, whereas the biceps muscles will undergo relaxation. So in our body, always the movement is made possible by means of contraction and relaxation of a pair of muscles. Okay, whenever one muscle contracts, it pulls the bone upward. At the same time, whenever one muscle relaxes, it pulls the bone for downward. Okay, so this downward or forward and backward movement of bone is made possible by means of a pair of muscles. When one bone contracts, it pulls the bones forward. When it relaxes, it pull the bone downward. Okay, so this is a combined activity happen. A pair of muscle is helpful for both lifting our arm as well as keeping our arm downward. Okay, these all points are there in the textbook. You have to read the lesson. Once again, I want to remind you, you have to read the lesson properly and you have to fill those two charts. One is chart 8 point, table 8.1, another table is 8.2. Okay, so now let us see what are the important words in this lesson. With that we are going to wind up our class. Important words. First keyword is in the page number 77. You can find some keywords are there, and those keywords, first word is backbone. Backbone spelling backbone, backbone. Okay, you know where is its position? Backside of our body. Okay, it is made up of 33 smaller bones. Remember it. The next one is ball and socket joints. The spelling is BALL, ball, and SOCKET, socket joint, JOINT, socket joint. Next one is bristles, 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 bristles. The next one is cartilage, 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 cartilage. And you know that when we were in the class, last class, you experienced that we were all drilling it. That means when I used to sing that words just like a song, then you used to repeat it. Because of it is recording, you have to do that at home. Okay, drilling practice, you have to do it at home and learn it properly. And the next word is cavity, CAVITY. Okay, you know the rhythm which we were used in our original classes. In that way, you have to sing and study the spelling. So it will be very easy for you to by heart the words. Next one, fixed joint, FIXED, fixed, JOINT, fixed joint. The next one is gait of animal, GAIT. It is not GATE, GAIT. Gait means movement, slow movement. That is not a gait. The next one is hinge joint, HINGJOINT, hinge joint. The next word is muscle, MUSCLE, muscle. The next word is outer skeleton. Outer means you know the spelling, skeleton, SKELETON, skeleton. Skeleton will be seen outside and inside also. Okay. The next word is pivotal joint, PIVOTAL, pivotal, JOINT, pivotal joint. The next word is rib cage, RIBCAGE, rib cage. The next word is shoulder bone, SHOULDER, shoulder, BONE, bone, shoulder bone. Another word is streamlined, streamline, STREAM, stream, LINED, streamlined. Streamlined body shape means already you know, front and back portion is pointed and the middle portion is broad. Such a body shape is observed in boat, you can observe. In boat, ship and all, you can observe the front part is pointed. And birds, front portion is pointed. Back portion also pointed. In aeroplane, you can find. Okay. So, like this similar shapes you can observe in your surrounding in many organisms. You have to observe your surrounding so that all this which we have discussed now, you will be able to experience directly. Okay. So, read the lesson 2 times. That is a homework for you. Read the lesson, total lesson you have to read 2 times. Write the keywords minimum 5 times. Write the keywords minimum 5 times and study the spellings. Then practice the diagrams. There are some diagrams are given there in your textbook, especially the diagram 8.17, 8.13, 8.10, all this. Rib cage is very important diagram for your examination. Okay, rib cage, vertebral column 8.14, 8.10, 8.13, all these important diagrams you have to practice thoroughly. That's the homework. Okay, till the next time we meet. Take care, be happy, bye.